Okay.
Hello again, everybody. So I want to talk a little bit about tack welding and setup before you actually weld your pieces. I did put this in the last video, and I probably should have, but this can definitely be a standalone. There's enough info here. So when you weld stuff together, what happens is the two pieces fuse together, and then they bond with the filler that you're using. And so if you're using an arc welding rod like this is a filler, but it's also going to bond with the stuff that's in there. Well, what happens when all that stuff fuses together is it's super hot, but then as it cools, it actually shrinks a little bit. And so as it starts shrinking, the distance between my two fingers actually becomes less as you start to weld it. And if you look on here, and I don't know, Dina, if you can get close enough in, but you can see that, our gap gets bigger and bigger as we go here. And if I just kept welding that, the gap would just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we would be out of position. I mean, our weld wouldn't be accurate. It wouldn't be the way that we had planned on welding it up. And also, it gets harder and harder to fill a bigger and bigger crack if you're welding. So to keep that from happening, before you actually start welding your pieces together, you want to do what's called a tack on them. Okay, and tack is T-A-C-K, just like a thumbtack or whatever. And so you can see this one right here. I've done a tack on this piece. I've put a small weld on each side of it. Now the reason why the weld is small is because if I do it too big, it's already going to start separating like this one did. But by doing a small weld on each side, I keep that from happening. If we're doing a T-weld, like this, it can be difficult to hold this thing on here and tack it at the same time. So in that case, we have a welder's magnet, which you can put on here and it'll hold the two pieces together magnetically. You can go ahead and tack things in place. But then when you're done, done tacking it, you should remove the magnet, because we don't really want to get the magnet super hot. The magnet that's in there, if it gets hot over and over again, it starts to get brittle, and then that breaks, and then we have to replace the magnet. So the magnet's just there for tacking. It's not meant to hold stuff together permanently while you're welding. Okay. After you have it tacked, you want to basically pretend like the tacks aren't even there. That means welding through your tacks. So if I'm going to start welding this, like I said, I'm going to pretend that the tack isn't even there. I'm going to strike my arc right here, weld, and then when I get to the end, I'm going to weld right through that tack. I'm going to pretend like it's not even there. Okay, that's about it, everybody, for positioning stuff. I thought it was important that we go over this, so I'll see you on the next one.